Hey guys, welcome back, and today we are going to be going over my guys in the 2025 draft class. These are guys that are just my favorite players in the class. They might not be the best players in the class, they might not be the most underrated, but they're the guys that I just think are the most fun guys to watch and the guys that I'm going to be rooting for the most out of this draft class. I don't like when a lot of people do these lists because I think some people are just going to put like first round prospects in here. And while there are maybe one or two guys that I think could sneak into the first round, a lot of these guys are mid-round picks that I really enjoy and think can be big-time players in the league. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. Be sure to check out my Patreon page, which I will leave linked in the description below. It's $5 a month, but you guys will get full access to my draft guide with all of my player scouting reports, big board, positional rankings, and so much more. So I'll leave that linked in the description. The way I like to do these types of videos, when I do the My Guys videos, I like to build my team. So it'll be a quarterback, it'll be a running back, and we'll just go from there. It'll be one of every position. We're running a 4-2 defense, and we will also be playing 11 personnel with a slot. So want to get that out of the way here. Starting this off with the quarterback, and my guy is Kyle McCord. I love Kyle McCord in this class. If you would have asked me this over the summer, I thought McCord was terrible at Ohio State. And looking back, there was a lot more positives there than I gave him credit for. McCord is my QB3 in this class. He's 6'2", 224. I think he's got one of the best arms in the draft class. He thrives in that short to intermediate game, but he plays with that gunslinger type of mentality. He takes some big shots, and this is a guy that I think has the arm talent to hit at all three levels. Threw for almost 5,000 yards this past season. It is a bit of a catch-22 because he does try to telegraph passes a lot, forces things into tight coverage, and he does turn the ball over through 12 interceptions this past season. He's not the greatest athlete. He's not this guy that's going to be able to extend a ton of plays with his legs. He is more of a pocket passer, but he reminds me a lot of a guy like Brock Purdy. My comp for him is Baker Mayfield, just a gunslinger, tough quarterback that's going to sit in the pocket, make tough throws. I love what Kyle McCord can do, and he's a guy that I'd be betting on in the 3rd to 4th round to be one of the better quarterbacks from this class. At running back in this class, I love Damian Martinez. I loved his tape at Oregon State, and I still love his tape now. I think he's one of the more polished runners in the draft class. He's not a great receiving back, and he's not a great blocking back, but everything else that you want from the running back position, Martinez can do at a very high level. 5'11", 226 pounds, ran a 4.51. He's not the greatest elite speed guy, but he is a guy that has an incredible power profile as a running back. The ability to fight through contact for extra yards, average 4.46 yards after contact per attempt. Really impressive number. His contact balance is absolutely elite. I think he's a patient runner. I think he's elusive in the open field with the ability to make guys miss. He's got a really good jump cut. His speed isn't incredible. I don't think he's the most explosive back in the world. And he's not a great receiver. He's not a great blocker. That's just not his game. But I think he might be the best pure runner in the draft class. And that includes guys like Omarion Hampton and Quinshon Judkins. I think Genty's in a tier of his own, but Martinez is a very good runner, and I think that that's exactly what a lot of teams are going to be looking for. He's a guy that I think can be a bell cow type of back at the NFL level because of the speed, because of the power that he plays with, And I love the shiftiness and patience. So I love Damian Martinez in this class. Kamire Dike out of Florida is a receiver that is starting to get a little bit more love after a really impressive combine. I loved him going into the combine. He was a Senior Bowl player that I had my eyes on. He's got a really nice compact frame. He's 6 foot, 192 pounds. You can play him in motion. He can play in the slot, can play on the boundary. But his speed and release package at the line of scrimmage, I think, is fantastic. Ran a 4.34 at the combine. I think he's got quick feet at the line of scrimmage. Average 18.6 yards per reception. He's a deep ball threat in this offense. He's a guy that I think is going to be a guy that can be a go ball receiver, but I don't think he's limited to that. I think he's got good footwork, and he knows how to win the 50-50 balls. Had a 70% contested catch rate, 7 contested catches for Florida. He ran a very simplistic route tree. He is a bit of an older prospect. Drops have plagued DK throughout his career. He's a guy who had 4 drops this past season. Dating back to his time at Wisconsin, he also had drops that were prevalent on tape. But I love the release package. I think he is going to be a guy that's going to be able to get open deep at the next level because of the speed element in his game. So I'm a big fan of DK. Glad to see he's getting love. My other 2 receivers, Jalen Royals. I'm just not selling my stock on Jalen Royals. I think he can play in the boundary. In this situation, I've got him playing as my slot receiver. He is a little bit smaller, I guess. 5'11", 210. Again, compact build. 4'4", 240 with a 149 split. You could put him in the most underrated receivers class because I just don't know why he's not getting the respect that he deserves. This past season was a lot of screens for Royals. Dating back to his year in 2023, though, he's a guy that is explosive off the line of scrimmage. He's got long speed. His separation numbers and his ability to, get open across the middle of the field, it's impressive. He is one of the most impressive route runners in the class. He's fast. He's shifty. I think he's the perfect slot receiver. He's coming off a foot injury. He's not the most physical guy in the world, which is why I've got him more as a slot. 38.5% contested catch rate. Not amazing, but I think he's a really good receiver. He's just going to be able to get open, and he reminds me a lot of a guy like I compared him to Rashee Rice. I don't think he's quite Rashee Rice, but there's some stuff that I really like in his game. I think he's going to be a great player. And then my number 1, my X, if you will, is Jack Besh. I mean, Jack Besh is a top 5 receiver in the class for me. I'm not selling my stock on him. He is the best blocking receiver in the entire draft class. I think, bar none, I think he's the best in the class. He is such a good physical type of receiver. He's not the fastest guy in the world. That's not his game. We've got speed with DK. We've got speed with Royals. He's 6'1", 218 pounds, a guy that was a former tight end, converted receiver, but he is a quick, sharp, smooth route runner who knows how to gain separation at all 3 levels of the field. He also has some of the most reliable hands in the draft class, just 1 drop this past season for TCU. He catches everything. He's a good blocker. He's physical after the catch. He's not an elite athlete. He's not going to be this guy that's going to be a deep ball threat. But in that short to intermediate, he's the guy that's going to be able to move the chains for your offense. He is an awesome player, and I think he's going to be my number 1 receiver for this exercise. Going on to our tight end, I still have Harold Fannin as my guy in this class. Loved his tape over the summer. I do think he is a little bit more limited. He's got one of the weirdest athletic profiles that I have seen, but he knows how to catch the football. He knows how to get open in the middle of the field. We have a lot of catching on this team we got a lot of great receivers on this team, I guess, with Fannin, Royals, Besh, DK. I think Fannin, though, another guy with good route running abilities. His hands are phenomenal. You just can't deny the production. I think people are just overlooking him because he didn't have the greatest combine in the world. Harold Fannin is an awesome tight end player. I've got him as the tight end for this exercise. Moving on to left tackle, it's Holland Pierce. I love the big frame that he has. I love the anchor that he provides at the left tackle position. Also, one of the better run blocking tackles in the entire draft class. He is going to be a guy that is going to be able to open up run lanes at the next level. He is a guy that, while he is heavy on his feet, I trust that he can develop into being a better pass protector because the hands are there, the anchor is there. Don't overset as much, but I think Holland Pierce is one of the better left tackles, pure left tackles in this draft class. I think he's phenomenal. I got a 2nd round grade on him. He's the most underrated tackle in the class, and I'm so high on Holland Pierce in this class. He's the left tackle for this team. At left guard, I got Clay Webb out of Jacksonville State. Big fan of him over the summer, 6'3", 310. He's a guy that I just think is going to profile well at the next level. I think he's got athleticism to move to the next level. A former Georgia recruit. He is a guy that I think can play in a wide zone scheme, can play in a gap scheme. He's got nastiness as a blocker. He's aggressive, hits hard at the point of attack. One of the better run blockers in the class. Great hands to control the rep early. Had an 82.7 run blocking grade, allowed just 7 pressures this past season for the Gamecocks. footwork can improve. He needs to improve his anchor. Is a little bit undersized, was pushed back a little bit often. He's playing small school competition, and he does overextend at times in the run game. He's not a perfect prospect, but I just love the athleticism. Love his play style. A guy that I loved coming into the year. Well, I think he was a top 5 guard in the class for me. He is still a top 10 guy. He's number 8 on my interior rankings, but I've got Clay Webb as my left guard. At center, I've got Weston Franklin. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you would know he's my guy at the center class. He's big, he's physical, he's one of the better pass protecting centers in the draft class with a strong anchor, plays with that level of nastiness and intensity that I love to see, but I also think he can be a really good run blocker. There are instances on tape where he's just driving guys into the ground. He's not the best athlete in the world. That's just not who he is. But I think what he does bring is a really high floor at the center position. So I've got Franklin as my center. At right guard, that's where I'm going to have Luke Kandra out of Cincinnati. Another guy that I really, really love his game. 6'4", 323. He's going to be an impactful piece as a pass blocker. He's also going to be able to impact the game as a run blocker. Done a little bit of everything throughout his collegiate career, dating back to his time at Louisville. Allowed just 8 pressures this past season on 803 snaps. I just love his game. He is a little bit of a clunky mover. He's not very smooth athletically, but I just think he is a guy that's got a big frame, thick, tall build. He's got upside to just clear lanes in the run game. He plays low, has some good power, has upside in pass protection. I think he could do a little bit of everything, and I like his footwork as well. So I got Luke Kandra at right guard, and then at right tackle, I got Logan Brown out of Kansas, a guy that I really, really love in this class. He might be a guard at the next level, and just given his size. He's 6'6", 312, but he's a really fluid athlete. He's light on his feet, good explosiveness, good burst to get into the second level. I think he's good in pass protection. He is a little bit light, gets beat inside from time to time, but he's a really good run blocker. 82.2 run blocking grade, allowed just 6 pressures on 619 snaps. He gives me versatility to my offensive line, which is something that I am looking for. But what I'm most excited about is his ability to help get into the second level and open up run lanes. So I got Logan Brown as the right tackle, and that'll do it for the offense. We got McCord. We got a really fun, balanced trio of receivers. I like the offensive line with Martinez and Fannin. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball now. I got Oluwafemi Oladejo. First off, I just think he's one of the better run-defending edge rushers in the class. I'm betting on the upside, the length, the athleticism. It's there for Oladejo to be one of the better edge rushers in this class. He's 6'2", 261. He is a guy that was a former outside linebacker, converted edge. The pass rush upside, it's not all the way there. Just 33 pressures, 10.6% win rate. But he's a very good run defender early on in his career, a reliable tackler, love the length, love the explosiveness and speed and power that he plays with. He's going to need to add on some more moves. He needs some more development, but he's a guy that I'm betting on. I've got him as my number 1 edge, and then my number 2 is David Walker. Completely the opposite. He's a little bit undersized, but the explosiveness to get into the backfield, blow plays up as a designated pass rusher. If he gets a free look, he is one of the most intense athletic players in the class. Shorter arms for the position, but I love the athletic profile. He is a guy that can win in a bunch of different ways, whether it be with swims or swipes or spins or also a very strong bull rush. It's there for him, a guy who had a 21% pass rush win rate this past year for Central Arkansas. Oladejo and Walker, you got the speed element, you got the power element. I think they complement each other really well, especially when you got a defensive line that I think is going to be able to take up a lot of space. First, I got TJ Sanders from South Carolina. I love Sanders a ton. I think he's one of the more underrated, slept-on defensive tackles in the draft. I've got him ahead of Darius Alexander. I've got him ahead of Tyleik Williams. I've got him ahead of Omar Norman-Lott. He's a guy that, one, I think is a phenomenal athlete. 6'3", 284, 4'9", 540. I think is a really good number for him. He knows how to create pressure, though. 12.6% win rate, 33 pressures, 5 sacks this past year for South Carolina. I just think he is a guy that's going to be able to get after the quarterback. He has the athleticism. He has the length that you look for. The crackdown speed in the run game, it's there. But his ability to get skinny between offensive linemen, penetrate gaps, get into the backfield is impressive. He's going to need to get stronger. Play strength was a concern for me. And I do think he needs to be more consistent with his hands as a pass rusher. The traits are there. Can he be more consistent? That's what I want to see. But I think TJ Sanders is going to be a monster at the next level. And then he's playing next to CJ West. So we got a CJ and TJ on the D line. West is a nose tackle for this team. He's clearing run lanes. He gives me some power and a really good bull rush. But this is a guy that I think is going to be able to open up plays. He can take on double teams, get free looks for some of the other pass rushers that we have. West is a big, powerful defensive tackle that he brings so much to the table as a defensive lineman. 6'1", 316, another guy with really good explosiveness, 4'9", 40. He's explosive and one of the most powerful players in the draft, I think. He's not much of a pass rusher. He's going to be more of a run stuffer. I think he can give you a little bit at times, but he's my nose in this situation, and I got him next to TJ Sanders. For our two linebackers, I got Teddy Buchanan as the first guy. Buchanan, to me, he is my number 9 linebacker on the class, 6'1", 236. Love the developmental traits that he brings. 4'6", 40, 159 split, 40-inch vertical. He moves really, really well. A phenomenal athlete. Plays with his hair on fire. Good physicality up front. I think he can be that weak side linebacker, the blitzer for you. He's really good downhill threat. He does need to improve his play strength. There's no doubt about it. Change of direction can be a little bit up and down, and he does miss more tackles than I would like to see. What did he have? Let me pull this up. A 9.2% missed tackle rate. It's not awful. Would like to see that get better. But he's my weak side linebacker. I love his ability to come downhill, blow plays up. I think that's his game, and that's where he's going to be at the best. And then when you got a middle linebacker like Sean Dolak next to him, I feel pretty good about it, especially because Dolak can do some of the things that Buchanan can do in terms of athleticism, in terms of coming downhill. He's a guy that put up ridiculous pass rush numbers this past year for Buffalo. And what did he have? He had 5 sacks, 16 pressures, but he's just a super smart, consistent middle linebacker. The coverage is certainly there. He's a reliable tackler, just a 5% missed tackle rate. He's going to be able to make plays for you at the next level, I do believe, and I've got him as the middle linebacker. I think both of them complement each other. Similar skill sets, but different enough to create a really fun tandem there for this team. Moving on to the secondary. As my first boundary corner, I've got Noel Williams out of Cal. I love the ball skills. I think he is a guy that is going to be able to play in an off-man scheme. He gives you some upside and press as well. Fluid hips, change of direction is absolutely phenomenal. Really good ball skills. He needs to be less aggressive at biting on double moves. He does stand with a weird, his hips are facing the quarterback almost. But I love the ball skills, the athleticism, the length that he plays with. So, yeah, I've got a 2nd to a 3rd round grade on him. He's also a reliable tackler, 5.7% missed tackle rate, 7 interceptions and 9 pass breakups this past year. He is the type of guy you want on your team. He's going to be able to create turnovers, and that's what I'm looking for. In the slot, I got Jalen Smith out of USC. Really, really liked this guy, and then he got invited to the Senior Bowl. I think there's some people that are too high on him, but I really like him. He's 5'10", 182. I think he's probably a slot guy at the next level, but I like the length and the athleticism overall. 74.5-inch arms, 4'4'5". He's a good tackler and a very physical corner. He plays physical at the point of attack. I love that. He's going to need to improve his instincts. He bites a little too hard at times. Ball skills aren't elite, but he's a good run defender. He's a consistent downhill threat as a tackler from the slot, which I really like. I think he moves well. He's a good athlete with speed. I like him in the slot. It was between him and it was between Elijah Huzzy. I like Jalen Smith a little bit better, so I went with Smith here. But the other boundary corner is Savone Revel. This is the guy that is the only one that I think has a chance of getting in the 1st round. I love him. I've been high on him since the summer. Haven't really backed away from it. I get the injury concern, but he's He's long, he's physical, really, really consistent tackler. The ball skills are there, elite speed. He is one of the most well-rounded prospects. I think he's up there for me. He would have been on the same tier as Quinyon Mitchell for me last year. If it wasn't for the injury, he'd be a top 10 player on my board. And even with the injury, he's top 15 on my board. I love this player. I think he completes out the cornerback room. And then for my first safety, I've got Caleb Ransall. I apologize for the bad picture. There is nothing out there for Ransall. Ransall is interesting because I think there's a world where you could put Ransall in the slot, play Jalen Smith at safety, and do a little switch there. I'd be fine with it because I think Ransall's got the instincts. I want to see him be more consistent in the run game. That's one of my notes on him, but he's 5'10", 196, incredibly explosive, 4.33 speed, 16 on the bench, 40-inch on the vertical. He's a guy that I like some of the stuff that he can do. He's physical in coverage, stop and go abilities, elite. He's versatile. I don't think he's the greatest, doesn't have the greatest ball production, but I do like his role, whether it's as a free safety or as a slot. I think Ransall is going to be impactful. And then to close out this team, I got Maxon Hook from Toledo. I just like his game a lot. He's 5'11", 193, ran a 4.55. He's just a smart coverage player, I think. Plays downhill, hits with a ton of power. He matches cornerbacks or matches tight ends and running backs routes really well. I think he's got good closing speed. He's really disciplined in coverage. He needs to improve as a tackler. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a smart coverage player. 81.5 man grade, 71.9 zone grade. He's a good run defender. I like him as a sleeper, strong safety in this class. And that's going to do it, guys. Tomorrow will be the final mock draft, and the draft is on Thursday. I cannot wait. Would love to hear who are some of your my guys in this class. Would love to talk about that in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.